Big, strong shoulders, solid player.
And I love the way you talk ball. USF earned its 20th win of the season last night. They're 20-12 overall. They were 12-6 in the Big East regular season. Collins on the all-rookie team with Hugh Robertson, Victor Rudd Jr., Augustus Gilchrist, and Ron Anderson Jr. Veteran team with 3 seniors in the starting lineup. For Notre Dame, the talented young backcourt of Jaron Grant and Eric Atkins. Mike Bray thinks they'll be the best backcourt of the Big East next year. Scott Martin, the senior, with the freshman outstanding athlete Pat Connaughton, and Jack Cooley, the most improved player in the Big East Conference this season, and second team all Big East. He's a big reason why Notre Dame is surprised, and Collins has made all the difference for South Florida, which won 3 games in the Big East last year. The starting lineups are brought to you by American Eagle Outfitters. South Florida in the green, Notre Dame in white. Pat Driscoll, Bob Donato, and John Gaffney, an outstanding trio of officials ready to work this one. It'll be Cooley to jump against Anderson Jr. And Anderson Jr. won the tip for the University of South Florida.
Shot McDonough's here, Billis. What's your name? Go!
Collins. Anderson. Guarded in the man-to-man by Cooley. Nearly a steal by Eric Atkins. They will take their time. You watched the game last night against Villanova, you know that. Anderson a miss. Augustus Gilchrist the offensive rebound. Last touch by Notre Dame.
Well, they get it inside, though.
The Bulls coached by Stan Heath in his 5th year in Tampa, and the Big East Coach of the Year. He was blown away by the honor. Certainly the man on the other bench, Mike Bray, would have been a deserving winner as well. Collins a deep 2. Then again, Mike's won it so many times. Mike's won it 3 times in the previous 5 seasons.
I think he retired the trophy.
Jim Boeheim would have been a good candidate. Buzz Williams, but Heath won it. He said it was meaningful because there were so many good coaching jobs this year in the league, and also because there are so many legendary names on that trophy. Guys like Jim Boeheim and Jim Calhoun, John Thompson, Lou Carnesecca.
Great defense by Collins.
Took it away from Atkins.
He got fouled.
Wow. Discarded at the rim.
Boy, what a play.
You know what's interesting? There were 10 seconds left. He's still, although they play slow, but they cause you to play slowly with their good pressure D.
He's a big reason that this South Florida defense is so good. I mean, at the point of attack, Collins is terrific.
Jaron Grant. Scott Martin open for 3.
Well, he's had a nice year too, hasn't he? There's a lot of things. Pretty good rebounder. Mid-range game, step out.
Watching a shot go down had to be nice for Notre Dame. They went 4 of 31 their last time in this building when they played St. John's. That's why they had a shoot around here this morning, which is pretty unusual for a Big East tournament to come in and have a shoot around in the building.
We got about a half hour of time on the floor here before the daytime session started.
Shoots free and opens up the deep jack
for Victor Rudd Jr., who got them off to a quick start. Last night he had 10 of their first 12 points in their win over Villanova last evening. They had Villanova to 47 points. 9 straight games they've held the opponents under 60, and 9 straight games they've held their opponents to 19 points or more under their season scoring average.
And you can see the clock down around 10 again. They just force you to spend time.
Atkins. We've seen that over the years, and a lot this year from Notre Dame. They run what Mike Bray calls the burn offense, where they'll take the shot clock way down. And Mike Bray said, we've proven several times this year we can win games in the 50s. They've won 5 games this year when they've scored 60 or less.
I don't know if that's their intent on the last couple of trips, but you're absolutely right. It's been very successful for him. I just think you got to attack early so you get second opportunities.
Collins is going to have to look to shoot.
He has to shoot now. Shot clock expiring, and he made it just as the buzzer sounded.
I think he can get a lot of that in this game. He didn't shoot the ball very much in the game at Notre Dame. And I think he can find a lot of openings.
He can hit that floater. How about that stepping outside? Too bad by Grant.
Jaron Grant, member of the Big East All-Rookie team, averaging 12.5 points per game.
I think you can make a pretty good case that Jaron Grant is Notre Dame's best player. He certainly will be going forward. He's got a lot of ability.
I love his speed and control, too.
Collins, an air ball. He thought he was hit, pleading his case to Pat Driscoll.
Well, they want the...
There was a change of possession.
Yeah.
Timeout.
And the shot clock never reset. It's at 9 right now. They'll talk a player in addition to being a great student and a really likable young guy.
Wasn't it nice to spend a little time with them in Philly at the shoot around? They're really terrific kids. He is a bright light in college basketball.
Hoping for a 6th year of eligibility, but Notre Dame's not real optimistic that the NCAA is going to grant it. And he's going to try to play somewhere next year. He rehabs well from the knee injury.
And Joker's trying to duck in on Martin. Nice job pushing him out. Rudd trying to take advantage of a New Englander.
Cunningham did a nice job there. He's a good athlete.
He is. Good rebounder. Wow. He's a good shooter.
Victor Rudd, just like last night, off to a fast start. He has 6 points on a couple of threes for the sophomore from Los Angeles. South Florida is at 5 of its first 7 from the floor, including 2 out of 3 from beyond the arc.
Notre Dame doing something that Villanova did not do in the game last night. That's move the ball from side to side. They are forcing this defense to move before they attack it.
Connaughton, corner jumper. The freshman from Arlington, Massachusetts, rebounded by Ron Anderson Jr.
These South Florida Bulls are men.
They are, and that was a good look, though. You're going to have to convert against this team because you're going to pay for it at the other end.
Looks like a group you would play at the Y that has been playing together for 15 years and taking a lunch break and knock your teeth out.
Pound you. Oh, sometimes you need Novocaine here. There's that duck that they do so well. That's on by Anderson.
And another 3. This one from Jawanza Poland off the bench, and a timeout called by Mike Bray with the Irish down by.
I think is getting behind this team and forcing the issue a little bit. Those open jumpers, and then you get back and spend some time on offense. They just rock you with this solid team.
Good move to the bucket by Grant, but his layup at the bottom of the rim.
A little bit of contact there.
Collins a little too fancy, flipped it back behind his back, intended for Corlin Fitzpatrick, and he's called for the fouls. He collided with Eric Atkins.
Funny, that's one of the, like a sloppy play. He knows too. Good players know when they fail a little bit.
Stan Heath and the Bulls lost the regular season meeting. They played once during the regular year at Notre Dame on January 10th. The Irish won 60-49. Anthony Collins was a little off his game that night. He was just recovering from a concussion he had suffered in the previous game against Villanova. Jack Cooley scores for Notre Dame.
Now, good coaches run some things, get him involved after that timeout. Cooley with a great duck in.
Got great position in the lane, 2 feet in the lane. You're going to score every time there.
We talk about the pace, Jay. You talk about how South Florida holding the ball helps the defense. As the shot is made by Gilchrist, we are more than 6 minutes into the game now, almost 7, and Notre Dame has taken 6 shots total.
That's been an offensive explosion for South Florida.
Well, Rick Pitino's analysis right on the money. It's very hard to speed up a team that controls the issue.
There's no question it's easier to slow a game down and speed one up.
Jack Cooley a miss, kept it alive, but it wound up in the hands of Victor Rudd. They were 3-13 last year in the league, 10-23 overall. And Collins has been the difference maker. That's a 3. Stan Heath said last year when they arrived here, our guard play shaky. It isn't anymore. Collins, 9. Mentioned the Bulls lost at Notre Dame earlier in the year. I spoke with Ashley Walker this morning, the sports information director at South Florida. She said after the game, the team was almost angry. She said that was the day that she thought they realized they could be a successful and competitive team in the Big East. Even though they lost, there was no satisfaction in playing hard. It was a close game for most of it. And sure enough, they went on and won their next 3 Big East games and have had a terrific season. They realized they weren't the same team that won 3 games in the league last year.
Well, there are spots in the season that generate good play or get the energy level up. You realize you're better than you've been playing. And I love that Cooley had asked the guys, get me the ball. And they did a good job on him. He kicked it out.
Alex Dragovich back to the bench after a short stint in for Notre Dame. Jaren Grant fouled. There will be a shooting foul on Poland, his first.
But they don't let you have anything around the rim. They collapse that D, assist one another. Grant had a little opening. As explosive as he is, they closed it up.
Now Jaren Grant. List him as a sophomore, but he redshirted last year at Notre Dame. They list you by your academic class. You'll have 3 more years of eligibility after this. Dad Harvey, the former Oklahoma Sooner, played in the NBA for more than a decade. Of course, his uncle Horace Grant, 4-time NBA champion with the Chicago Bulls.
Both Harvey and Horace Grant played their first year at Clemson together before Harvey left and transferred to Oklahoma.
Hugh Robertson, the miss for the Bulls. Here comes Notre Dame down by 10. More than 8 minutes gone by. Grant took a couple bumps from Robertson, who's their best defender.
Better get used to that.
When Collins called for a reach-in foul, his first.
When you're in New York, you need a good Collins. Maybe.
Ups. Friday at noon, Carolina and Maryland to get it started. Here it is, Notre Dame down by 10. Scott Martin hoists another 3. He's made a pair of those. And they were the touchdown.
But he loves the Garden. Was all tournament here last year. Has knocked down his first 2 threes.
They don't have to do that, Jake. Cross court.
He's a tough matchup for them because he can space the floor. He's very, very skilled, left-handed.
And they help out so well. You can get it and kick it across court.
Nash is into the ball game now. He's the backup for Collins, who's getting a brief breather. The up and under denied. Anderson couldn't score.
Really held his ground nicely there. I like the outside-inside interaction. You know, postman kicks it back out, reposts, and actually gets the ball back again. That's pretty nice.
A lot of guys don't repost. You're right. That is tough to defend. Cooley goes strong.
Nice move. Wow, he missed a shorty. Spun and was wide open at the rim and just missed it.
I think got a little upset with himself, Jay.
Cooley just holds his ground and stays between his man and the basket. Now here you got to finish the play. He just tried to get it up there quickly before it can get blocked.
Cooley is out. Tom Knight comes in for the first time, number 25, a 6'9" junior forward. Nash.
Nice job by Martin. You got to grab hold of it and get a jump ball out of it.
Knight on the floor. Squirted out to Atkins. 4-on-2 across midcourt for Notre Dame. Grant, bodies fly, foul called. And it'll be a 2-shot opportunity for the Irish.
You can see they're trying to push it when they can, Sean. The last couple of trips, picking up the tempo. I think Mike feels even if you don't get a fast break, you can get some early opportunities.
Ron Anderson Jr. called for his first foul, the 5th against the Bulls. Notre Dame has not been whistled for a foul yet. Eric Atkins, sophomore from Columbia, Maryland. High arcing free throw short.
It was a nice job down there by Tom Knight. Why did he get that ball out of that pile and get it down?
He's a nice backup when you think of it with Cooley. Pretty good offensive rebounder as well. You agree with the speed, though? You don't think you have to push it up when you can, Jay?
I think you got to take opportunistic shots, but you also have to make this team guard you. If you can get an open shot that you wouldn't be able to get after running offense, fine.
Like Ray said this morning, they're going to run when they have a chance.
Knight's really done a great job.
Robertson wasn't on the same page with Anderson. Connaughton finishes. And Notre Dame within 5. Their biggest deficit was 12. We're more than midway through the first half. 7 unanswered points for Notre Dame.
Take it when you can. Mr. Positive on that sideline.
South Florida turns the ball over at a really high rate. They don't have a large number of turnovers, but because they have nice looking play, well defended by Martin.
Slid behind beautifully. Well addressed.
But because they don't have so many possessions, it's a high rate.
Grant the 3. Well, a turnover by South Florida leads to the 3 ball.
But look out, 3-10. We're coming after you.
And you dug it up. You haven't been in the backyard with your son much lately.
There are 344, by the way, Division I teams this year, for those who are wondering.
Here's where they really like to take their time to get a good one. Nice duck. A little late by Martin.
Justice Gilchrist, a little too strong with the turnaround jump hook. He's their leading scorer for the year at 9.6 points per game. They're the only team in the Big East that doesn't have a player who averages in double figures. They score 59 points per game, and yet they win. Connaughton missed the 3 out of the corner, pulled down by Victor Rudd.
Notre Dame's getting some good shots.
Exactly. They're just attacking a little bit. They help so much. You can kick it. Not a good look here. That's what he does once in a while, doesn't he?
Another turnover and a chance for a tie or the lead for Notre Dame. And here's what we're talking about. Nobody averaging in double figures. But 7 players between 6.7 points and 9.6.
Augustus Gilchrist asking that we round up, though.
I round up.
Cooley trying to power in. Gilchrist wouldn't let him. They're going to try again.